Namaste friends, my name is Amit Garg. Welcome to my channel VedicAstrology. In this video, we'll talk about the Saturn and Jupiter both going retrograde at the same time. That will be from October 9th through November 15th. See, Saturn is our karma, Jupiter is our dharma. Now they're telling us to go within, pause, don't keep going 100 miles an hour. They want you to focus on what's important in life. What's our purpose? What was the reason for our incarnation? So those things we can reevaluate our path, our strategy, and a lot is going on externally in the world. Tomorrow is solar eclipse, and then there's wars going on. There is hurricanes, there is violence, and this is a golden opportunity. This 1.5 month period, it's amazing opportunity to discover our purpose, our strategy, our focus, and also what blessings we have in this life and make use of those. Before we look at the details and the results of this transits, we have an advanced course coming up November 7th. That'll be live on Zoom, 1 class a week, really detailed, in-depth course. If you're interested in learning real, authentic, practical astrology, then join our course. Also, if you like the content, please like, share, and subscribe, and leave comments and tell us what you think. So Jupiter and Saturn. Saturn has been retrograde for a while. It will be retrograde until November 15th, whereas Jupiter will turn retrograde on October 9th. And that will be retrograde until February. But the window where both are retrograde will be from October 9th through November 15th. See, Saturn is the planet of karma, and Jupiter is the planet of dharma. So in a way, this is karmic reassessment, which is Saturn. At the same time, there is also spiritual re-evaluation. Now, karma and dharma, Saturn is karma, Jupiter is dharma. Both we have a great opportunity, golden chance to re-evaluate both our karma and dharma. Now try to understand what is the meaning of a retrograde planet. Retrograde planet wants to go within, internalize. It doesn't want to go full force. It's not thinking about, like 10 years from now, 20 years now. It is asking you to go within and figure out, why did we start in the first place? Why did we take birth in the first place? And then another thing is retrograde planet, as if it wants to go back in time, go back in space. So essentially, it wants to give you results of the previous house, previous sign. It's as if, let's say, we start from home and then we realize, oh, we forgot my, I forgot my phone or my keys, something like that. So you have to go back. So retrograde planet actually is an amazing opportunity. It gives you a second chance. It's showing you the missed opportunities from the previous sign, from the previous house. So this is a retrograde planet is really good for the results of the previous house or the previous sign. So we'll discuss for all the 12 signs, rising signs. But in general, we have to understand what this means overall. So it's giving us a chance for karmic introspection. What is my karma in this world? That is Saturn. It's helping us to have more discipline and more structure in our life, not just having a career. It's asking you to focus on your purpose. Not just education, it's asking you to align your education and your career and your purpose. And it wants you to rebuild the structures of your faith and knowledge. That is Jupiter. So reevaluate, realign your faith and your knowledge, and in a very strategic and thoughtful long-term planning. So you want to sit down and understand and internalize, go within, figure out long-term strategy, as in for this whole life. What do you want to do right now that will last forever? Not just this rat race or running after money for the sake of it, or trying to be spiritual for the sake of it. But what does spirituality mean? What is your faith? What is your belief system? And it's also going to give you opportunity to break down the outdated structures of your belief system, outdated structures of the faith or understanding that's not working anymore. So it's in a way balancing expansion and restriction. Saturn is restriction and Jupiter is balancing. So it's giving you opportunity to find the right balance, follow the middle way. And so a deeper sense of purpose, that's what it's asking you to figure out. What is your sense of purpose? It'll give you a lot of clarity. It'll give you a lot of alignment with your being, with your soul, uh, with your past lives. So it's it's asking you to focus on internal growth rather than external progress. And it's all about personality development, taking on personal responsibility for your own life. Okay, so be mature, that's Saturn retrograde. Be wise, that is Jupiter retrograde. So this retrograde phase, both of them together retrograde, this will lay the foundation for a very meaningful, more meaningful future that has a purpose that aligns with your reason for existence. So this will also heal some of the past wounds. So you reflect and let go of things that are not needed. So the wounds that hurt you, let go of that hurt. And so you'll work through unresolved wounds, unresolved karma. So you can get rid of karmic debt. You can get rid of a lot of karmic debt, and essentially this is giving you opportunity to heal through wisdom, to figure out your path with wisdom and with the maturity of Saturn. So that's what this is telling us. Now let's see for all of the 12 rising signs, specifically what areas, what things it's asking you to focus on. So if we begin with Aries rising, for Aries, Jupiter retrograde in Taurus, that means it wants to come back to your Lagna. And for Saturn retrograde in Aquarius means wants to go back to your 10th house Capricorn. And so this is literally what we've been talking about in the intro section. Listen to the intro section. Jupiter wants you to focus on your personality, who you are, your being, your essence. That's your first house, Aries. At the same time, Saturn wants to give you results, missed opportunities for your career, 10th house. So it wants you to structure, give a structure and a strategy and a plan for your career, essentially aligning your purpose and your career. That's what Jupiter and Saturn are doing for Aries rising. So either people will see Aries rising people, they may shift their focus, their career, what is important in life. That'll be the main theme behind what they're doing as a career. So good time for self-reflection, who you are, your being. That's Jupiter giving you results of first house, and Jupiter at the same time making you aware of your purpose, not just making a living. That's very important. So reevaluate your career, reevaluate who you are, your goal of existence. That's the opportunity that you have. For Taurus rising, Jupiter wants to go back to your 12th house and Saturn wants to go back to your 9th house, right? So that's the retrograde motion. So that means your 9th and 12th house are completely activated by the planets of karma and dharma. That is all spirituality. 9th house is higher wisdom. So Saturn sitting there is actually giving you an opportunity to have a structure on your belief system. So if you're still confused about your spiritual path, your belief system, your faith, this is the time. Sit down and evaluate and think about it. Go within and try to figure out what is your path, what is your spiritual goal in life, and then also giving you opportunity to meet gurus. Ideal time for Taurus rising to start some kind of higher studies. And then at the same time, Jupiter in the 12th, activating your subconscious mind. Jupiter wants you to go back to connect with your ancestors, past lives and other planes of existence. So this is a highly, highly spiritual window of opportunity for Taurus rising. And also long distance travels. See, you can go on like solo trips, on pilgrimage to spiritual sites. This will help you figure out what is your strength in terms of your spiritual strength, that is 9th house, and also your hidden secrets that are the subconscious mind. You can activate, your intuition will activate during this window. So great opportunity to focus on both karma and dharma. Gemini rising. It's very interesting for Gemini rising. Jupiter wants to go back to 11th house, and Saturn wants to go back to your 8th house. So it's kind of they've switched, they've swapped their roles. So Jupiter is the dharma, and it's going to the 11th house means it wants you to focus on your income, but in a very dharmic way. Saturn is the planet of karma, but it's going back to the 8th house. That means it wants you to focus on your spiritual uh, secrets, develop this intuition, learn some esoteric stuff. That's the 8th house. So, really, for Gemini, your spiritual path and financial abundance, those are completely intertwined. So, you can, uh, I mean, what that means is you really got to understand and figure out how to make money in a spiritual way. That's the essence of it, because Jupiter and Saturn, they have switched their roles, and they are completely asking you to realign your income and your spiritual wisdom. That is the 8th house, the secrets of the universe. So uh, discover the secrets of the universe. That's the 8th house, and then make money out of it. That's the 11th house. That's the summary of it. So that's for Gemini. For Cancer rising, Jupiter wants to go back to your 10th house starting October 9th. And Saturn has been in your 8th house, but retrograde means it wants to give you results in the 7th house. So, for one, Saturn wants you to have a structure in your relationships. So, develop this relationship with the divine. Or, in other words, you can also develop a divinely relationship with your partners, with your business partner, with your personal partner, or with your spouse. So that's what Saturn in the 7th and the Jupiter in the 10th, asking you to have a very dharmic focus on your career. Again, same thing as Gemini also, is that you have to have a very spiritual uh, point of view in terms of your career, making money. So your career and your purpose, those should be aligned. Your career and your dharma should be aligned. This is giving you a window of opportunity. We keep doing, our job year after year. We keep thinking, okay, next year I'll definitely start something very spiritual on the side, and then I'll work on that for 2, 3 years, and then set it up, and then I'll switch my career. This is the chance. Jupiter in the 10th house giving you all the opportunities and strength and wisdom to literally focus on a career that is very spiritual in nature. So that's for Cancer rising. And watch the introspection, because there we have discussed a lot more things in general, what's happening with Saturn and Jupiter and remedies. Next is for Leo rising. Leo rising, Jupiter wants to go back to your 9th house in Aries, and Saturn wants to go back to your 6th house, that is Capricorn. So, literally, Jupiter is sitting in the house of your Dharma, the planet of Dharma. So that means you may have ignored your path, your spirit, your belief system, your faith, your spiritual path. So that is 9th house. Jupiter giving you a second chance, missed opportunity to discover what is your purpose. Okay, it's very important for Leo rising. And then Saturn, on the other hand, it wants, it's been in your 7th house, but it wants to go back to your 6th house. That's the retrograde. So it's giving you a second opportunity to focus on service and on your health and on your work, also your job. If you do a 9 to 5 kind of a job. So alignment, or give a structure to why you're doing what you do. Why do you have this job? Does this align with your purpose? And then also, are you doing enough for the society? That's 6th house. Saturn in the 6th house. Have a strategy, have a structure, have a plan, a goal of how you want to serve the humanity. It's giving you a second chance. That's very, very powerful window for you to figure out how, as a leader, Leo people are leaders, born leaders, how you can help the humanity, how you can do some things um, for other people, and not just in a haphazard way, not just like, once in a while give some charity. Have a plan, have a strategy, incorporate that as integral part of your karma, of your dharma. See, Saturn is the planet of karma. And so that means, as part of your career, this should be one of the goals, one of the pieces of how to allocate your time to serve other people. And then also about your health, have a proper routine. Focus more on your health. If you've had some health issues, Saturn is giving you a second chance to rectify any of the things related to your health, so that you can have a really holistic view of how to heal yourself, and at the same time Jupiter is giving you this opportunity to put your dharmic path, your spiritual path, belief system in order, and also what kind of gurus you want to associate with. That is Jupiter in the ninth house. Who you want to learn with. It's actually giving you an opportunity to go into higher studies, also higher wisdom, learn some spiritual things, or even enroll in a PhD program. Let's say you are a engineer, you can do higher studies, or a MBA, executive MBA. So any kind of higher studies is good. Jupiter wants you to focus on that and improve your knowledge skills, so your wisdom. So that's for the sign of for Virgo rising. Saturn is actually going to be wants to go back to your fifth house, and Jupiter wants to go back to your eighth house. Okay, so Jupiter literally can bring it back to your eighth house. That means it wants you to focus on deep spirituality, secrets of the universe. The Guru himself is taking you deep to the bottom of the ocean. That's the eighth house, where the pearls of wisdom are found. So deep dive, fearless and attitude, and then expansion in your wisdom. That's what it's because you may have missed some pearls at the bottom of the ocean the previous time Jupiter was in Aries, and now Jupiter wants to go back and give you those benefits, those rewards. Saturn at the same time wants to go back to your fifth house, so extreme creativity in your career. Make your career very, very creative, and also give birth to something literally in your career, in your profession. That's the fifth house. Or involve your children, work with your children to give birth to something. So together, basically your career and your children, or your romantic partner also, that's the fifth house. So those things are intertwined. But this is not just like regular transit of Saturn in the fifth house. This is the retrograde phase of Saturn, which is sitting in the sixth house, but wants to give you results of the fifth house. So those results are very powerful. That is intentional result. That is like the planet meant to give you something, but let's say forgot, or you didn't grab that opportunity, and now it's going back and telling you, hey, grab this opportunity. So excellent time to focus on those areas. And also watch the intersection. We discuss lots of additional things for both Saturn and Jupiter. So that's Virgo rising. Next, Libra rising. For Libra rising, Jupiter wants to give you results of the seventh house. That's Aries, and Saturn wants to give you results for the fourth house, that is Capricorn. Now, fourth house is inner happiness. So this whole discussion we had in the intro section of this video, watch that. That's very applicable for all signs, but especially Libra, because it is about inner happiness, focusing on what makes you happy. See, Saturn is the planet of profession. Saturn is the karma. And so it wants to give you results of the fourth house. That means literally it is asking you to figure out what karma gives you inner happiness. In other words, what kind of profession, what career aligns with your purpose. So literally it is telling you to align your career with your purpose. So not just make a living, not just do a job, find a career that will give you inner happiness. So it's the missed opportunities, it's the missed chances, and now Saturn wants you to grab those. At the same time, Jupiter is seventh house. So Jupiter is asking you to develop relationship with the divine. Jupiter is dharma. Jupiter is also traditional rituals and things. So seventh house is our relationships. So Jupiter wants you to figure out, not worry about the relationships that are purely on the material level, material plane, but focus on the divine relationships. So it's giving you a second chance. So expand and also even with your partner, with your spouse. The other option is Jupiter wants you to work together, both of you as a couple, to figure out what is your spiritual goal. So work on your dharmic path. That is what Jupiter's retrograde phase, sitting in the eighth house, wants to give you results of the seventh house for Libra rising. So it's uplifting. It is essentially connecting you to the source, as in what's your purpose, what makes you happy, and then develop a connection with the divine. So that's for Libra rising. Next is Scorpio rising. For Scorpio, Saturn wants to give you results of the third house because it's sitting in the fourth house retrograde. At the same time, Jupiter wants to give you results of the sixth house. So your third house and sixth house both are activated by this double retrograde phase. Number one thing, it's asking you to be more courageous, to face your problems and obstacles with a lot of confidence, because third house is it's the courage to deal with the day-to-day challenges, and sixth house is the courage to fight the enemies. That's the long-term battles, or weaknesses within, or obstacles and enemies outside. So this transit is literally telling you you're strong enough, you are braver than your obstacles. And so third house Saturn, that's also giving you opportunity to develop some skills that will be helpful in your profession. Not just, okay, so additional course here and there for your job skill improvement, something that is long lasting. Have a structure, have a plan, have a strategy as to what things are important. So again, same theme, watch the intersection, which is how do you align your career with your purpose? So Saturn wants you to have a purposeful career. And so it's giving you opportunity to develop some skills around that. And also important time for focusing on communication, written communication, especially. That's the third house. And then Jupiter wants to give you results of the sixth house. Sixth house is our health. Sixth house is service. So sharing your wisdom, that's a clear indication that Jupiter wants to give you this blessing. Is Jupiter is dharma, Jupiter is wisdom, and sixth house is sharing, helping, volunteering. So Jupiter wants you to, maybe you have ignored that. You gained a lot of wisdom but didn't share with other people. So this is the time for Scorpio rising. The second is make your job profession more spiritual. See, in the intersection also we discussed this whole theme is reset, realignment of your karma and your dharma both. And so that's exactly what's happening here. Jupiter in the sixth house with the retrograde motion, it's asking you to incorporate dharma, a lot of spirituality, a lot of wisdom in your job. That is the sixth house. So that's the combination. So that's the energy, and watch the intersection. If you like the content so far, please like, share, and subscribe, and also hit the bell icon. And we're starting a new course, advanced course, on November 7th. Check out the details on my website and register if you like to dive deep and learn practical astrology. So that's for Scorpio rising. Next is Sagittarius rising. For Sagittarius, Saturn wants to give you results of the second house. At the same time, Jupiter wants to give you results of the fifth house. So second house Saturn means it wants you to speak up about your karma. What's important. You got to uh, stand up for what you believe in. So don't you need to express what's important. Like for example, at work, you got to speak up what's important for you, what's working, what's not working. So be more vocal about your career. What's your karma? What's your path? What's your profession? So at work, express your voice. And then also at the same time, Jupiter fifth house. So it's asking you to be very creative and create something dharmic that's long lasting. Create something with your children, create something with your romantic partner, but focus on creating something that's very spiritual and dharmic, and that will give you expansion in other areas of life as well. So that's for Sagittarius. Watch the intersection. We discussed other things, important things. Now for Capricorn rising. For Capricorn rising, what's happened very interesting. Saturn wants to give you the results of the first house because it's sitting in your second house retrograde, so wants to give you results of the previous house. At the same time, Jupiter wants to give you results of the fourth house. See, fourth house is inner happiness. Jupiter is the dharma. So it's literally asking you to figure out what is your dharma that'll give you inner happiness. So you got to focus on your spiritual path. What is my spiritual path? What is my belief system? What is my faith? Jupiter wants you to be happy once you figure out that. So Jupiter is giving you a second chance to discover what makes you happy through a good spiritual path. Saturn at the same time, Saturn is asking you to rise up and be act on your karma. So don't be lazy. Essentially, Saturn in the first house, it's giving you a second chance to do things actually perform action that will set the foundation for the rest of your life. That's what Saturn in the first house does. It's giving you opportunity to do the karma. So strategically plan for the long term, have a plan, and also have a structure for your whole life. So for your own personality development, for who you are, and in life in general. So essentially, have a plan for your life, have a structure in your life, and be responsible, be mature, have a clear understanding of uh, who you are and the purpose, your purpose of life. That's the first house Saturn. So again, inner happiness and purpose of life, who you are, personality development, and focus on your karma. Those are the themes for Capricorn rising. And watch the intersection for more details. Next is Aquarius rising. For Aquarius rising, Saturn is retrograde in your lagna, so it wants to give you results of your 12th house. At the same time, Jupiter retrograde in your 4th house wants to give you results for the 3rd house. So Saturn wants to give you results of your 12th house. That means it wants you to have a very deeply spiritual perspective on your profession, on your work, on your karma. Um, it's telling you you have some hidden secrets. You got to use your subconscious mind, your intuition, awaken all of those energies and put those to work. That is Saturn, karma. In your career, in a profession, in your work, incorporate all the 12th house energies, skills, and your strengths from the 12th house. At the same time, Jupiter in the 3rd house asking you to develop some skills that are more spiritual and dharmic in nature. It's asking you to have a communication style that is more dharmic and spiritual in nature. So giving you all these opportunities, and then so essentially you learn some spiritual skills, incorporate those in your profession. That is set in the 12th house, and also communicate about those. That's the 3rd house. Uh, and deal with your day-to-day challenges with a wise kind of attitude. That's Jupiter in the 3rd house. So that's for Aquarius rising. Next, Pisces rising. So for Pisces, Saturn wants to give you results of your 11th house, whereas Jupiter wants to give you results of your 2nd house. So essentially, both your money houses, 2nd house and 11th house, are activated by this double retrograde transit. What does that mean? Saturn is asking you to figure out how you can achieve your financial goals at the same time, help the humanity. So align your karma and your purpose. Make a lot of money, that is 11th house, but also reach out to the masses, help the humanity, that is 11th house. At the same time, Jupiter in the 2nd house asking you to incorporate a lot of spirituality in your wealth. So as you create wealth, as you create family wealth, accumulate resources, do that ethically, do that in a dharmic way, with the blessings of the gurus, in a very spiritual manner. So you see the finances and the spirituality are very much intertwined and aligned. So it's asking you to have a strategy, have a plan, have a long-term view of how you want to make money. But also, as you make money, you want to accumulate wealth through dharmic and spiritual ways. So that's the meaning of this double retrograde. Watch the intersection for more discussion and more details and remedies for each of the 12 signs. So if you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the bell icon. And this is a really powerful about a month and a week window where both planets are retrograde, the planet of karma and the planet of dharma, taking you within, reassess your karma, reassess your dharma, and at a very deep level, strategic level as to your purpose of life. What things would you do if you didn't have any constraints or restrictions? That's what it's telling you, to figure out your ultimate goal and purpose of existence. Uh, all right, may we all have blessings of Jupiter and Saturn, and a solar eclipse coming up tomorrow, 2nd of October. I have a separate video for that. Huge changes coming up. So we got to do our self-reflection. That's the most important thing. A lot of chaos going on the external side, but we can stay grounded and really go within and discover the strength of this retrograde phase of Jupiter and strength. Thanks for your time, and I'll see you in the next video. Namaste.